Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another podcast from Overbite Gaming, the podcast that nobody listens to. I am your majestic Snare, and with me today is a first-time attendee. It's a surprise. Who is it? Who is it? Of course it is. It's Lee. Hello, Lee.
I am the eagle of games. The games eagle.
What, endangered and irrelevant?
Yeah, pretty much. also a symbol of patriotism, the virtue of the vicious, according to Oscar Wilde.
Well, that's quite cerebral for one of our podcasts. Well done.
It was on the rock.
It was on the rock. So, yeah, today is an interesting day as there's not too much news going on. But there are some things we wanted to kind of chew the fat on and get our opinions out there without having to have too much effort. But before we get started, there we go. There's the christening. I could hear the plinking of the ring pull.
It's all right for you. I have to wait for him to eat his dinner before I get my beer on.
Well, not really. I'm sure you've had about 4 already.
No, this is my first.
I'm on sugar-free 7-Up, which I've already opened because, yeah, I'm not on the beer today. I'm going to a beer festival tomorrow, though. That'd be fun.
Yes, this is why we're doing podcasts, to push videos back, because he's going to be wankered.
Well, it's to make sure that the right kind of videos get out to our screaming public. No,
he just said, "Oh, I'm going to look like a fucking." Okay, well, what do you say? I'm going to look like a what?
I don't know. Probably a washed up scrotum. I don't know.
That's an improvement.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a good look to film anything on Saturday, I don't think.
Did you know there is a mythical Japanese creature which is basically like a raccoon dog, and it has an enormous scrotum and uses it as weapons and boats and all sorts of things?
Wow, you learn something new every day.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the enemy of the fox one. There you go.
Enemy of the fox.
Kunabi, something like that. It's an actual thing. There's an actual raccoon dog in Japan. But it's also got mythical proportions as a magical creature with a large scrotum.
The kind of bullshit we bring out on this podcast is unparalleled, isn't it?
I'm just educating people in the scrotum world.
Joe Rogan will be spinning, thinking, why the fuck don't we talk about massive scrotums?
Yeah, you know, he only had the... oh, shit, I can't remember his name. Edward Snowden on. From his...
We don't need Edward Snowden.
No, we don't need Edward Snowden. I don't give a shit if the government knows what I'm doing. Yes, I come home and watch some women do funny stuff to each other and then play some games and drink some beer and eat some chicken wings and then I go to bed. That's my life. I don't care if you know.
I don't think you're really the target for the problems that Edward Snowden brings up, though.
Yeah, well, apparently it's this mass data collection, so I'm part of the masses. In fact, I'm rather a mass myself.
I just don't think you understand the threat of the problem, to be fair. I'm not going to use our podcast to explain it to you.
Okay. I just don't think I have any secrets worth knowing. I think that's about it.
It's not about knowing secrets. It's about manipulating things for the benefit of people making money on the subject of your effectively your IP, which is you.
So I don't care about that.
Where you shop, what you do, what you buy, so they can make it more expensive for you and not for somebody else.
If my phone listens to what I'm saying and then shows me adverts for things I might want to buy rather than things I don't want to buy, I don't see a problem with that.
It won't be about stuff that you want to buy. It's going to be about manipulating you into buying the things it wants you to buy.
But only a fool would fall for that.
Rest my case. Yeah.
Well, so that one.
You did a bit, yeah. So gaming news. Let's get into the point of our whole fucking channel, shall we? So gaming shit that's going on at the moment.
Everything's delayed.
Everything is delayed, but the big one is the Bethesda announcement recently, which I think we should just comment on at least.
Oh yes.
So,
I mean, I think Blizzard is exceptionally happy to have this come out like 2 weeks shy of BlitzCon.
Oh, yeah, God, what is happening to the world? The industry is absolutely fucked in places. So Bethesda have basically come out and offered a £100 subscription to Fallout 76.
a game you've already paid for, just let me say, which is fairly uncommon nowadays. I mean, even MMOs aren't doing that nowadays.
Exactly. I mean, for most games, and I mean, Warframe is another example where you don't pay for the game, but you can pay for stuff, as a transaction within the game. But to actually buy a full price AAA title for $60, 60 quid, whatever you are, you then have to buy it again every year for the benefits that are very scant at all. It's just like a couple of atomic points, some things that other people don't get, storage space, which actually is something that Warframe does as well. So I can't throw too many stones there.
Yes, private worlds as well for you and your buddies.
Yeah, it's just, oh Jesus Christ, what are they thinking? Do they? And I watched the Jim Sterling video on it just the other day, and he made one point that should be said more, but some people are going to buy that.
Well, yeah, because there's always someone that buys everything.
There was that guy recently in the news that had stated a game had actually had one player spend $220,000 on a game.
That wasn't that Transformers or something.
Yeah, it was a very shitty kind of mobile game, but $220,000. Oh my word!
I don't think that's the most. I think there was a guy that was a couple of years ago that spent way more than that.
It's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and to be fair though, those are mobile games we're talking about there.
Yeah, and for some people it's vulnerable and haven't got money to spend, but certainly for spending that kind of money, it's more money than sense.
Yeah, I mean I understand that the mobile games are generally free, so they need to monetize it in some fashion just to keep their business going and making more games. But yeah, when you're talking that amount of money, it's a bit egregious.
Yeah, because it's not the fact that it's a big amount of money that's the shocker. It's the fact, because I mean, let's be honest, if you've got that much money to waste and you're wasting it how you want to waste it, fine, do go ahead. But the problem is that the mechanics behind how that has come to be are the same mechanics that are affecting people that are vulnerable. And you can't have that and have a good conscience. You just can't. There's no company in the world that could justify that. Apart from EA, who have tried to call it surprise mechanics. But there's no real way you can justify that, and I believe there's a lot more litigation on the way to companies that are doing loot boxes. So they've made the bed, now they've got to lie in it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the action's happening in this country, but whether or not it actually gets any time in front of fucking Parliament at the moment, probably not.
Well, they'll still have business to conduct, but it's not going to be at the height of anything else but Brexit in our little pot core of the world, where we're the laughing stock of the entire planet.
Because we can't get our shit together.
Yeah. But this is not going to be a Brexit podcast. Don't worry, guys. We'll be moving on.
Yeah, it might actually be popular if we do that.
Yeah, might have a few more people listening. But anyway, so with Bethesda doing this ridiculous $100, I suppose it's £100 as well, is it? I haven't looked up on Steam or whatever.
Probably. It's not on Steam though, is it? It's only available through the Bethesda launcher, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. That's why I haven't even bothered to look.
Which I haven't got, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I would imagine it's going to be £99 as well, so it'll be even more expensive.
It's going to be somewhere around there, yeah. Generally, we get fucked over on that sort of subscription, don't we?
We do. But certainly, I mean, Bethesda used to be. I was watching. I was reading some stuff on Reddit just the other day about this, and some people were kind of pointing at the fact that they used to use, Skyrim as a benchmark to go, that's how games should be made, And I know that we've had that kind of misty-eyed approach to Bethesda over the years, kind of letting them get away with shit and stuff like that. And
I wouldn't point to Skyrim as the way games should be made. I mean, do you remember the save bug that was on the PS3? Where your save file just got ridiculously big until the point where it wouldn't load anymore.
Yeah, but what I meant was the kind of end result of how it looked and the mechanics involved in it, and it's like the go-to RPG for anyone that's into fantasy stuff. It certainly was at the time.
Yeah, well, I was going to say The Witcher 3's out now, so
yeah, slightly different. But yeah, I mean, they used to be like a paragon of how to do things, and they were just seen as a game's coming out from Bethesda, you're going to buy it before it's coming out. Because the next Elder Scrolls is going to be Skyrim, it's going to be amazing, and everyone just ate it up. Absolutely was like, this is fantastic. 10 out of 10, best game ever. etc.
Yeah, I mean, even their demonstrably best games, such as Fallout New Vegas and Oblivion, bug to fuck.
Yeah,
All of them.
yeah, fixed by modders in that whole situation. But the big telling point for me was that quite a few people on this Reddit thread were saying that no more. You're going to wait for people to actually get reviews out for Bethesda games. I'm never going to buy one day one again because I just do not trust their actual competence in making a game.
Yeah, they say that now.
That's huge, though.
They say that now, but we'll see how Starfield does on the pre-orders or whatever it's called.
Well, of course there'll be loads of pre-orders, but you don't actually get to know the numbers from them, do you? I mean, whenever somebody does a pre-order thing, like, oh, you get this, and that, you never find out they're going to be providing a decent game at the end of it. It's going to be a big fucking mystery about how many units have been sold until much, much later.
Yeah, but it'll have a statue that you can leave in the box and put in the attic until you remember it and get it down and go, oh yeah, I bought that. I was a fucking mug.
I'm never buying a special edition for a Bethesda game, mate. Never.
Why did the rucksack not sort of G you on and say, wow, look at that piece of shit. That's awesome. I want that for all my other pieces of shit that I can put it with.
Well, despite the fact that the helmet goes mouldy and the bag is made of plastic instead of canvas, they can't even get basic things right. So I'm not going to be holding out too much hope to. And to be honest, most of the games that they produce, I'm not bought into anyway. I mean, even in Skyrim, I think it's a game that I never actually completed Skyrim because it was so vast. I just enjoyed playing it, but didn't go anywhere too much or progress the story a lot.
So I bought Skyrim twice.
Because you're an idiot.
Well, I bought it on PC. I got upgraded to the enhanced edition for free on Steam. Thank you, Steam. And I also bought it on Switch because that just sounds like a game to have on the old Switch. And it is. It's fine on Switch.
Is it the base level thing, though?
Yeah. I haven't got any prostitutes or naked women running around on
it. For the benefit of the audience of both people listening to this, and it's hopefully not you and me. Yeah, Lee's fascination with Skyrim is something so perverse that I just don't understand how he's still playing it.
Well, because of the modding community. Thank you, friends. No,
it's not because of the modding community. It's because you can make it have naked breasts.
Because of the modding community, yeah.
It's just disgraceful. Just disgraceful.
Why do you think I'm still playing Resident Evil 2 Remake?
Because you can make it have naked breasts.
Bingo.
There we go. So putting a line under it, Bethesda are dead to most gamers that know what they're up to. So if you are thinking about getting the $100 yearly subscription bullshit, make sure you can afford it. If it's something that you have been sucked into and it's not good for you to be spending that, please don't. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. The game itself is not worth any money.
I'll tell you what does look good, though.
Go on then.
On the subject of shitty companies.
Go on.
Jedi Fallen Order. That looks pretty good.
Does it? I haven't seen any recent trailers. I know a few have popped recently.
Yeah, I've seen a few more bits, so you can visit planets in any order, and the combat looks pretty good. And I'm getting quite stoked for that, to be fair. And it's all single player. There's no DLC. There's no microtransaction. It's done by Respawn, who are an excellent developer, having done Titanfall 2, which is one of the best shooters that crashed because of the stupid release window.
That is very true.
So I am genuinely stoked for that. I am looking forward to it very much.
Well, I will give it a time of day. I'm not sure if I would actually go as far to buy it because it'll only be bought if we end up doing a review on it. It sounds like we are. But I certainly think that the way that EA have probably treated most companies of late, I'm not sure if Respawn can do anything else but stellar delivery and stay alive. So,
well, I mean, at the end of the day, this is the game that everybody says they fucking wanted. Single player, story based, no DLC, none of that shit. If no one fucking buys it, EA are just going to sit there and go, see, fucking told you so. No one's interested in that shit.
I don't think they let it go that far, to be honest. They've got shit. I can imagine they've got shit tons of focus groups and fucking marketing bullshit and trying to make sure that they're making something that they can guarantee some return on. They're not stupid in terms of business. They're just callous and evil.
Well, look at the other like single player shit like Witcher 3. How much money did that make for
CD Projekt Red.
Oh, thank you. I was struggling there for a minute. I mean, that had to make like tons of money for them. I mean, they release like one game every 5 years. They have a studio and staff to pay. It's got to make money.
Yeah, it's got to make money. But they also did the good thing of releasing a decent sized DLC, which, most games don't bother with that.
Well, yeah, that's how DLC should be done. I mean, some of the Mass Effect ones, I would argue, were worth the money.
Yeah.
They weren't as big, though. But it was essentially like the Citadel DLC for 3 was basically how the ending of the game should have been, in my opinion. But no, Witcher 3 gave you. I mean, the trouble with Witcher 3 is I've got both of them, right? I've got all the 3 DLC there is. I bought the 2, Blood and Wine, and the other one I can't remember. Bought both of them. Have I ever played them? No, because when we bought The Witcher 3, I played it through and finished it as a review. And at that point, it didn't have a New Game Plus feature. So I was like, fine, right, whatever, done. Goodbye. And then I came back. I was like, oh, DLC. Oh, shit, I'm going to have to play the game again, like all the way through, like 60 hours to get to the point where I could actually do the DLC. I was just like, oh, bollocks.
Oh, speaking of that kind of situation, let me just fill you in, because I don't know if you've been watching me on Steam recently, but I've been playing a lot of Factorio again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you're into that.
And I hadn't picked up Factorio for a good year, I guess, and since I last kind of saved a particular factory that I've been making. So for those of you who don't know Factorio, there's a couple of videos on our channel I've done. It's basically all about automation and making a factory kind of run itself, picking up minerals and making those minerals into plates of steel, and then making those plates of steel into wire, and then the wire into circuit boards and stuff. And it sounds really mundane and boring, but it's so satisfying when you get something automated. Anyway, so I came back to this after about a year, and I booted up my save file, thinking, I'll just see what I got to last time. It doesn't work. Now, why doesn't it work? Well, because they've upgraded the game by a certain number of versions, and they've just outright said this is not new enough to boot up and run. So I had to start from scratch.
Oh no!
Which wasn't a bad thing because I'd spent so long away from it, so I don't feel like butt hurt too much. But I was like, I've sunk hundreds of hours into this, and now I've got to start again.
Well, to be fair, that is one of those games where you'll probably like look at one area of like all of your facility and be like, shit, you can tell I did that when I first started. I could have done that a lot better.
Yeah, but it's not just that, but I'm just thinking, how can it, I mean, playing the game through again, it's not a great deal different. And there's certainly no way that something would, from an older version, be a problem for a newer version, because you still got the same stuff. You just have to, if this is a smelter, it's still going to be a smelter in the new version. It's still going to be the same size on the map and do the same thing. Just upgrade it. But for some reason, it didn't want me to do that. It just says, this is too old. You can't use it. It's not a valid save file. I was gutted, but I got over it quite quickly and spent another 100 hours on it since.
Maybe they just changed the way it handled the save files.
Well, maybe. It could be a number of reasons. They've obviously had a good reason to do it. Otherwise, they'd just be screwing over people like me. They wouldn't want to do that.
No, they wouldn't, because you're a muppet that plays it for hundreds of hours at a time.
Yeah, but it's such a fantastic little game. Love it.
It's very popular. I will give you that. It's not. I've got it. It's not my cup of tea, but yeah, I can see the appeal of it. It just doesn't do it for me. There's no opportunities for boobs.
Well, you can probably draw some with some conveyor belts, but yeah,
they'd be quite angular though, wouldn't they?
No, they'd be round.
In
fact, I'll make some for you and I'll send you a picture. How about that?
Oh, smash in.
But yeah, so games kind of DLCs and whatnot, and losing your save files. That's always a painful experience, especially when you've invested heavily into a game.
Yeah, definitely.
which is the
I
kind of
mean,
go on.
what I've had my PlayStation go pop a couple of times for like my PS3, and yeah, that's a pain in the ass. I mean, nowadays it's all up on your cloud. You get your cloud saves if you got PlayStation Plus and shit like that. Back then, it was just like, nope, you're fucked, son.
Yeah, do you know what? I would touch some wood if I had some nearby. And touch my desk, that'll do. Oh, and my wardrobe. But yeah, I have not had a console go kablooey on me.
Just the entire PC.
I've had my PC go twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, like your entire PC though.
I've lost the PSU, which has fried my motherboard.
Yeah, there you go.
That's done. That's happened twice. But in terms of consoles, no, my PS3 is still rocking hard as my go-to Blu-ray player. When the PS5 comes out, I'll move the PS4 into the designated Blu-ray player slot. It'll be a nice cycle and circle of life.
Yeah, my Blu-ray player is currently my Xbox One because it's just so smooth. I just really love it. It's really well put together and solid. And I mean, the PS4 is a better games console, but from a build quality aspect, it doesn't feel as good. It feels a little bit plasticky, whereas like the Xbox One, the original one, the big fucking VCR sized one, is a big old beast. But I'll tell you what, it's got some fucking build quality to it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I reckon it might just be the Dr. Dre syndrome.
It makes a nice booping noise when I eject the disc as well, and the eject button and the power button are both distinct from each other, unlike the PS4.
Well, they don't really have buttons, do they, on the PS4?
Well, it has two buttons with tiny, tiny little markings on that you can't see because they're so fucking small to tell you which one's which. So if you ever need to press the button on the down front, you're like, is that going to turn it off or is that going to eject the disc? It's turning off.
That's my point. It's not actually a button, is it?
Well, it's physical and you press it. It doesn't depress very well. I mean, it might go in a little bit, but it's definitely a button.
It's touch. It's not even a button.
Feels like a button to me, or maybe I'm just pressing too hard.
That's why your consoles go boom.
My PS4 has yet to go boom, sir. It has only been my PS3.
Let me know later, because it's now been tempted. Fate has been tempted.
Oh, fuck. No, the PS3, it first went when I had Batman Arkham Asylum. On the day I got it, I was like, yeah, let's do this, bitch. Popped it in. Yellow light of death. I was just like, oh, fuck me. So I rang the help desk. I'm like, yeah, it's doing this. He's like, is the disc still in it? And he taught me this really fucking brilliant trick. He's like, turn it off at the back. This is the fat version that had a power switch at the back. He says, turn off the back, hold down the eject button, and then turn it back on at the back. And what the system does is it basically says, right, you want to eject that disc? We're going to do everything we can to eject that disc and fuck everything else. And actually, the disc came out because I had to send my console off, and they could give me a refurbished console within a couple of days. They're just like, yeah, we'll just swap it out for you. It's not a problem. I was like, brilliant.
Cool.
But the disc, they're like, well, if the disc is still in it, it's going to take you months to get back. And I'm like, I just paid fucking like 40 quid for this. I kind of want to play it. So I was really appreciative. And like, I know on like Watchdog at the time, and they're all moaning about the yellow light's death, but Sony were fucking brilliant for me. They sent a courier to my workplace, just switched my PS3 for a refurbished one, and off I went and popped it in when I got home and played it. I was like, brilliant, love it.
I remember that Watchdog program in the UK talking about the PS3s at the time, and I remember that they got so many facts actually about the console wrong, and then it was kind of like, oh, making a joke about sweaty, spotty teenagers in their bedrooms and shit, and I was like, hold on a second, who the fuck do you think you are? It's like just because somebody drives a certain car, they're obviously a wanker. It's what? No, that's not how it works. Wankers buy the cars.
Isn't it Audi now? Isn't that the wankers?
Yeah, pretty much. If you drive an Audi, then fuck you. You're a wanker. Yeah, I don't drive an Audi. Just before you put that in the comments.
I drive my legs.
Yeah, because you're too stupid to pass the test.
No, I'm too drunk all the time. I wouldn't be allowed to drive.
Well, yeah, you don't generally drink like while you're driving, though. It's not a good thing, Lee.
Well, no, it's not called drink driving because you're drinking while you're driving. It's you've already drunk and then you drive. You see how that works?
Yeah, but what I'm
That's why I
saying
can't
is
do it.
you don't have to drink all the time.
You what?
It's not a necessary thing to do.
Doesn't sound likely to me.
Well, yeah, well, you'll find out one day.
When my liver is more man than I am.
Exactly, or more cancerous lump.
That's just the rest of me, mate.
Yeah, that's true.
The liver is the biological Lee, and I'm just the cancerous lump attached to
I fucking knew it.
it.
Anyway, we have digressed a hell of a lot from actual gaming chat.
No, perhaps a little.
But yeah, so we've also got BlizzCon coming up, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
What's your feelings on that? Marks out of 10.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I am so looking forward to it. I mean, it's like I said in the video I did about WTF Blizzard. It's like, how can we build on last year's BlitzCon, which was just a fucking disaster when we got everybody excited and announced a mobile game and then insulted them.
Mm-hmm. Don't you have phones?
Yeah, yeah, go. Oh, I know. Let's expose ourselves as a communist supporting piece of shit company that will do anything for our Chinese overlords.
Unfortunately, it's not just them, is it? Like you mentioned in your video, NBA has also had some issues. Do you see the clip of the kid in the getting caught by the camera?
Which one was that?
So there's a clip doing the rounds at the moment with a little kid holding up like an NBA shirt to try and get on the camera, baiting their attention. And as they pan over to him, he turns it round and it's got like free, democracy, free Hong Kong type thing on the back, and they quickly move the camera away. It is so evident. It's quite funny.
I'm pretty sure he was also ejected as well.
Probably, but it's going it's going on all over the place, and it's disgusting. Just the attempted censorship, just to save a few bucks of corporate sponsorship and client bases. Basically, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I can understand like wanting to pander to such a large market, but when you're pandering to a government like Winnie the Pooh's, it's just not on. You're just there's so many human rights issues going on in that place. It's so toxic that you just don't want to be associated with it. It's like fucking sucking up to Robert Mugabe when he was in charge of Africa.
Yeah, but the difference, well, Zimbabwe. That's not giving the whole continent. But
I don't
know. But the fact is, with the whole China thing, is that the amount of players of video games is so much higher in that Asia sort of region that it makes business sense. It doesn't make logical morality, but it's, if you look at numbers wise, these companies, you can understand why companies are doing it, because they're going to lose out a shit ton of revenue because they're going to stand by their principles, which is fucking scary as shit.
Well, it's not just that. It's you've got large Chinese business owning large portions of foreign game companies as well.
Yeah, I mean, Tencent, I think they've got a stake in Warframe.
Yeah, and Epic Games.
Yeah, so some big franchises and respected franchises in those places. So the whole China thing is scary, but I don't know how it's going to go, because I mean, you're going to have one side of the gaming industry on the Western side, really focusing heavily on loot boxes and the whole microtransaction stuff, and that will just become a thing where they are, clamping down and restricting the ability for companies to do what they just want to. And then you've got the other side, which is on the sort of the Chinese and the Korean side of the gaming industry, where
only half of Korea, in fairness.
Yeah, only half of Korea, South Korea, all of South Korea. But you got those kind of I want to say it's like stereotypes, but certainly the focus on IP and privacy is not a thing. So you can buy knockoffs of a lot of products from China, which is a well-known thing. It's not too bad to say that, but at the
Soldier Boy loves it.
He does. Oh God, that fucking console. Anyway, but the whole point is that they will not be affected by people money back microtransactions in the West. So they will become a superpower of gaming, which they already are, because I don't know what the stats are, but they must be so much bigger than North America and Europe. They must be.
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is, though, it's like when you talk about microtransactions, China were actually the first place to force them to implement the percentages on loot boxes.
Oh, really? So they've actually got some legislation.
Yeah, that was the first place, and now it's become industry standard. Apart from, I think, one company refuses to do it.
Is that
I can't remember
EA?
which one. It might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So
But yeah, they were the first one to say we need. The only way you can do this is to. I'm pretty sure they were the first one anyway. Is to actually divulge the percentages of what you might receive in the loot boxes.
fair enough. Well, if that is true, I'll call a fact check on that. But if that is true, then that's kind of blows my theory out of the water a little bit. But I still worry for the future.
I'm checking now.
Bear with me, caller. I'll just keep on talking.
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
I work with Windows. That's my favourite episode of the IT Crowd, by the way. So yeah, I think with the number of companies,
here you go. I have it from TheVerge.com.
Go for it.
Last December, China's Ministry of Culture released a new set of rules governing online games in the country, including regulation that requires developers of video games that feature random loot boxes to reveal the odds of players receiving items. The rule, which officially took effect on March the 1st, this will be 2017, has led to multiple big-name companies revealing the drop rates for rare items in their loot boxes, many of them for the first time.
Just to point out, you are kind of eating your mic at the moment, so you're sounding a bit muffled.
So, sorry, I was leaning forward to read the screen. But there you go. Yes, China demanded it. It got implemented on March the 1st, 2017. Son. Ugh.
Yeah, still, I still get worried, but then again, I worry about everything.
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I worry about nothing.
So what are you expecting as announcements at BlizzCon this year then?
Well, the rumor is Diablo 4.
No, it won't.
I don't know. There's been some leaks supporting it. I saw a headline today, in fact, but I can't remember what it was, so I probably shouldn't have brought that up.
That was Diablo Immortals, though, wasn't it?
No, there was definitely a Diablo 4 leak.
That is Diablo 4.
No, Diablo Immortals is completely different. No, proper Diablo 4.
Yeah, but it's the fourth Diablo game, so it's Diablo 4.
No. I'm having a check now, you bastard.
Make you work, bitch.
Am I the fucking Jamie of this channel or what? You probably won't get that.
No, I won't get that.
He's the Googler on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay, yeah. I do watch Joe Rogan occasionally. I watched the Elon Musk one a few weeks ago. That was great.
That's old, man.
I know it's old. I just had never got around to watching it, and I was like, I'm quite a big fan of Elon Musk for the stuff he gets on with.
He seems so fucking weird, though. He really seems fucking weird.
Yeah, but you need to be weird to be sort of that clever.
Well, explain me.
I think we just have.
No, you want to listen to the Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I'm not a massive fan of Neil deGrasse Tyson, though.
Why not? He's awesome.
Oh, I don't know. There's a couple of things. He's very good. He's a very good storyteller, and he's impassioned about what he knows about the kind of physics and stuff. And he's a great exponent of explaining things. But I just get the impression that the whole fame of Neil deGrasse Tyson has become like a thing for him, and it's more important than what he started out to do. You know, finding out about the world and the universe and stuff. I don't know. He's become more celebrity than scientist for me.
Oh, I don't agree with that at all, personally.
Well,
I just think
you're silly.
I just think he has charisma and showmanship, and he's a big motherfucker. And I think that, with coupled is it just makes you think that. But I honestly think he's not like a sellout. I think he is a scientist.
He's also an alleged sexual abuser.
No, he was found innocent of that.
That's why I said alleged. That shit don't wash off. Come on. I actually watched one of the podcasts recently with a quantum physicist on it. I can't forget his name. but he's just written a book talking about kind of like the just the parallel universe thing, but just the ever kind of expanded idea that lots of things are happening in simultaneous reactions, the kind of bubble universe idea, and but taking it to the next level, and the fact that you're one of them, not the original, but you're just one of them, and how we could actually influence the other. And it's a bit mind blowing. I can't explain it very well, but yeah, it's one of those podcasts you just watch Joe Rogan get baked and baked and baked, and he's just going, right, okay, we've got to have a joint now. This is crazy.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but I think it was a rapper. Maybe I can't remember which one, but that is the most stoned I've ever heard them on there. It's ridiculous.
And he's the king of podcast. Absolutely, he's brilliant.
Oh, definitely, because he's so knowledgeable as well. It's like when we want to talk about something, we go and watch a few videos, read a few articles, and if that, and then we talk about it. He'll go fuck off and read his fucking bibliography, you know?
Yeah, not just that, but he calls out bullshit as well. He doesn't. He comes at it from a very humble aspect and says, "Look, I don't know enough about it to call bullshit on it, but it sounds like bullshit. Convince me otherwise." And he's very sort of scientific in it. It's very good.
That is the clarity weed gives you, my friend.
No, but all the times he's had full-on arguments with some people. Talking about that they're saying something. He's like, you can't say that about people. Like you can't say that and be right. And he's had a full-on argument.
He does have on sort of inflammatory guess as well that no sensible person would ever agree with their viewpoint, and he does quite a good job of it because it doesn't get aggressive. It just gets
I've seen him get aggressive though. I've seen him get aggressive. Very really, well, maybe not aggressive, but very, very assertive on certain points.
Yeah, I go with assertive.
He does not let bullshit fly easily. He does not let it just happen. He's always got it on watch. It's very good to see. I'll tell you something else that, in terms of those kind of long form videos on YouTube. For me, the First We Feast Hot Ones interviews with Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, they are so good. I mean, the fact that it's the whole chili, the hot sauce stuff disarms the guests eating the 10 hot wings as they get hotter and hotter. But the guests he has on there, they're all just like massive fans of him.
No, absolutely. I mean, I watched one that went up today, which had Maisie, Game of Thrones Maisie.
Yeah, I won't watch that one yet because he's bound to reference stuff in Game of Thrones I haven't seen yet.
It's not too bad, actually. I don't think there was many references in there, which I was glad because I like Game of Thrones. But yeah, actually, I was watching it. I was like, okay, well, I've seen Game of Thrones, and I think you're one of the better actors that wasn't previously established that's on it. Like, I don't think Daenerys can act. I don't think Sophie What's-Her-Face can act. I don't think Kit Harington can act. But I think she can because I've seen her in like The Secret of Crinkly Hall, which is BBC thing based on a James Herbert book. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of cool with you. Then she comes on, has vegan chicken wings, oat milk. She's wearing her fucking pajamas and she has pink hair. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck yeah.
The thing is, I watched the Paul Rudd one just yesterday. It had me in stitches at some points, but he was eating cauliflower instead of vegan wings.
Yeah, but he's not a vegetarian.
And he tries to be.
Yeah, but he's not. But he also taught you how to put butts over people's heads.
I know, that's so cool. I'm going to do that for everyone.
But yeah, that is a fantastic show. And Sean Evans, is it? I think it's Sean Evans who hosts it. Is just a fantastic interviewer, and
he's so good.
Do that while he's stuffed his face full of super hot wings. Respect.
But not just that, but his questions are not the normal fare that you would do on a press junket. They are thoughtful, researched, insightful, and the kind of things you would want to know. And the way that he crafts the question makes the guest feel so comfortable. He's like an American Graham Norton in that respect. Because everybody goes onto the Graham Norton show is always like, oh, have a good time, have a drink, sit down and have a bit of a laugh. have a story. But with him, it's like it's so crafted, but it works every time.
And the people they get on there is amazing because you're like used to them, like, oh, it's some rapper I don't know, some actor that does a TV show I don't watch, and then all of a sudden, fucking Idris Elba, Gordon Ramsay,
Halle
Jeff
Berry,
Goldblum, Halle Berry,
Paul Rudd, Elon
Paul
Musk.
Rudd.
Is it Elon Musk been on there?
I don't think so. I don't think Elon Musk has been on there.
Gordon Ramsay was a pussy. I think he ran off to the toilet in this one.
He was quite funny though.
Yeah, but the thing is, it brings out the real kind of person. Oh, Shia LaBeouf as well. He was awesome on it.
I didn't bother watching that. I can't stand the guy.
No, you should, because he was. You could see the genuineness, like respect he had for Sean, when he was doing the interview, and he's like, "You're good at this. Like, you're really good at this." And he came across really well.
Was he like, well, at least one of us is good at something then?
Shia LaBeouf is good at what he does, mate.
Oh God, do you ever read about his on-set antics at Fury, where he wasn't washing and pulled out his teeth and shit like that? It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's a creative force like no other.
He's a twat.
No, he's definitely got well, he's done that recent film that's done quite well at Cannes. Oh, what's it called? It's with the Down syndrome guy.
I'll say, so does he play someone that has Down syndrome?
Of course he doesn't, you fool. He
plays. That's a shame. I thought that'd be perfect.
His co-star has Down syndrome.
So it actually has a Down syndrome person. It's not just like a Daniel Day-Lewis thing.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's a really. It looks like a very interesting film that actually tells a story. But I think he's doing that kind of stuff. He can afford to do those kind of stories now.
Yeah, I find people afflicted with Down syndrome disturbing because they all look like me.
Lee, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing?
I'm sexy.
You can't. Okay, whatever.
That was an insult to me.
You do not look like you have Down syndrome. Okay.
You sure I got a big head and stuff like that? I'm just digging.
You are digging. Stop. Oh God. Is this the last?
That's it. I did.
This might be the last video of the channel. Seriously.
No, fuck them. It's not like we earn any money from it.
It's not like we have any fucking audience now. Anyway.
I'm sure it will be fine.
Yeah,
I know Bungle will still be listening. He will comment down below and support me and tell me that I look like I suffer from Down syndrome.
It's not a thing you suffer from. You're just born that way, okay?
Down syndrome or me?
Both. Anyway, I'm going to change the subject before you bring out a bigger shovel. Right, so, well done. Good punctuation. So the other thing that we were going to talk about just briefly is about the games being delayed.
Yeah, there is a lot.
There's a lot, which is a bit strange being this time of year because they should be getting their games out now for the Christmas rush, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like as we both agreed earlier, we'd rather see games be delayed and come out in a playable state than be rushed out the fucking door like Anthem.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We don't want games to be, coming out completely half cut.
Yeah, I mean, so we've got Vampire Bloodlines 2, which I am looking forward to. That's been pushed back to late 2020. Watch Dogs Legion, I think it is. That's April 2020 now.
My theory with that one is they've realised they can't make the fucking game. Because the idea of that is so huge. And I said it before, if they are... The idea you can just jump in and play anyone in the game at all. Very, very dodgy ground, to be honest. It's No Man's Sky level of epic overstatement. So
Driver San Francisco did it.
Yeah, but that was slightly different because that's just replacing a car with another car, isn't it?
That's replacing a person with another person. Oh, deep.
Well, I hope they're not in deep shit anyway.
They're probably taking the extra time to remove all the fucking microtransactions from their store after fucking Wildlands or
bullshit. It's Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
The microtransactions will be fucking nth level.
Yeah, but look all pushback they got from it's not Wildlands, that was the other one. Breaking Point. God, these all sound like wrestling pay-per-views. Fuck's sake.
Breaking Point.
Breakpoint.
Oh,
Breakpoint. That was Patrick Swayze, wasn't
it? Are you thinking of the Control? Is it Control? No.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what game you're talking about.
The one with the Punisher in. That one.
Oh, Ghost Recon.
Yeah, Ghost Recon. Yeah. Blah.
Yeah, I think it was Breaking Point.
Yeah, because it had like a stupid microtransaction shot with like everything in it, plus skill points, plus all this. And they're like, oh, well, we put that in for people that were going to come later and they were behind the current players, but oops, we put it in from launch. Wankers.
Yeah, Ubisoft is trying to find the radar while everyone else is fucking up big and just keeping their microtransactions going. Oh, I do hope Watch Dogs Legion is good because I've bought the fucking special edition, haven't I? So I've also bought the special edition to Cyberpunk, so that should hopefully still be coming out next year.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's still next year though. I mean, that is one I probably get much more excited for nearer the time. It's kind of like one of those games where I'm like, yeah, I get excited when it turns up on a Steam page or something, you know, like with a date.
Yeah, there's not actually that much that's kind of on the radar that I'm actually excited about.
I'm excited about Outer Worlds, which will be releasing tomorrow as of recording.
Potentially next review, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think so, especially as I get it on Game Pass, so I pay fuck all for it. But outside of my Game Pass subscription.
Yeah, you can't shut up about that, can you?
I love Game Pass. It's just... I was always one of those guys that like I don't want to pay a subscription, like shit, fuck off. But it's like it's a bit different when you're getting games from sort of all over the place, as opposed to just like buying a Ubisoft one or an EA one or whatever.
That might be the case, but here's a question for you. So the subscription service that you've got, you get some free games. They obviously are doing that for kind of retention of players. What happens when this next year comes around or a point in the future where they go, yep, not going to do that anymore?
Well, that just means they'll stop taking money from me and I'll stop being able to access the games. The only knock I would have about
it... They'll cut them off and say you can't have those anymore.
Yeah, but it's not like I've bought the games, is it? It's not like, I mean, you can, and you would do this if you were really fucking stupid. You can buy DLC for the games that you don't own. Now that's fucking stupid if you do that, though.
Why on earth would it let you do that?
I don't know. It's like you can play Forza Horizon 4, which is a great game, love it. Getting plenty of my money's worth just playing that, to be fair. But there's like a Lego sort of expansion where you can do like Lego races and stuff. But it's not available in the game. You have to go buy it. And I'm like, well, if you're going to provide the game, why not just provide all the DLC? Because no one in their right mind is going to buy DLC for a game they don't own, and you could cycle out at any point.
That's the problem with live service and online all the time games.
Truth. I mean, and also the client's a bit of a cluster as well. Like, installing some games is a bit of a pain in the ass, especially ones that require administrative privileges even. Some of those, like Gears 5, I had a lot of trouble installing that, and I had a little bit of trouble preloading the Outer Worlds as well.
That's one thing I'll say about Steam. I've never had a problem playing a game through Steam.
I've only had a problem once, and that was Mortal Kombat X, where they were trying to like implement this new version.
Where you could play it while it's downloading. Yeah,
exactly. And instead of preloading, they went, "Oh, well, we're going to release it, and then it's just going to download the bits you want." And it downloaded like 20 meg or something, then didn't do anything else. You're just like, "I can't play my game. What the fuck? Just preload it next time, you dickheads."
Well, I'm still having to try and get Man of Medan to work, which is our next review. Because it's an absolute bitch. I tried it a couple of times. It crashed every time I loaded it up. So I'll have to do some jigging around. That's the only game in the history of Steam that's actually done that to me. So
the only problem I've had with it is I found if I was playing it full screen, sometimes it would go black, just sit on a black screen when I try to load a game.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's not. But when I realised it and just went like, okay, windowed full screen. There we go. Fine, done.
I think I might have to do that myself, to be fair.
Try it. It might. Well, to be fair, you have to get into the menu. So if you can't even get into the menu, then
No, I think I can get into the menu to start the game, but then it crashes. So
yeah, try that.
yeah, so yeah, the game's like, I mean, Death Stranding. I don't think it's been delayed yet, is it?
Not to my knowledge, but Norman Reedus did specifically request his muscles were enlarged.
Oh, and people hate our video.
I know, it's great, isn't
it? So if you're one of the people listening that commented on that, or even have seen it and gone, you guys are off piste, so off piste. What's going on? We were doing a reaction. I mean, we didn't have all the information in front of us, and to be honest, if that's what you're going to show, it was boring as fuck.
And to be fair, have you played it?
Well, I haven't
not
played
you.
it yet.
No. Not you. I mean, like the people commenting on that video. They're like, "Oh, it's going to be great because it's Hideo Kojima." Blah blah blah. You're like, how do you know? Have you played it?
No, but it's all about exploration and taking your time, and it's not. I don't know yet.
I mean, boring, weird as fuck. There's my review.
Yep.
No, we will probably review it. We will probably review it, and if it is a good game, I will review it honestly and say it is a good game. But from what I'm seeing, I'm not liking the look of it. It just looks like you're walking around the Scottish Highlands with a baby strapped to you.
And washing in yellow water and bullshit like that. Anyway,
and peeing mushrooms.
I'm sure that it will have interesting parts to the game. If it doesn't, it'll be a fucking shit show.
I mean, when was real good last Metal Gear? 3?
4 was pretty good.
4 wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as that was sort of when it turned into like a downward spiral, I think. Well, I thought 5 was a pile of shit.
Yeah, it was awful. Absolutely awful. 1 and 2, obviously 2 being like the fucking christening that I had of Metal Gear, because I didn't actually play this first one first. I played the second one
first. So you didn't get disappointed when it turned out to be Raiden? You're like, yay, Snake! He's blonde now.
Well, that whole Raiden thing was a bit annoying, but the whole game was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was. But no, my christening was Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation, and that was awesome. And I completed it, and it was awesome. And I completed it again, and it was still awesome. And then I got the James Bond, it became even awesome.
Stop eating the microphone because I can't hear what you're saying.
James Bond suit, awesome. There we go.
There we go. Lovely. Well, I think we've probably exhausted all of our ideas of conversation without.
Well, I do have one boobs. More, in fact.
Ooh,
it could devolve into boobs, so we never know. And that is the announcement that Kamala Khan, the current Ms. Marvel, is going to be one of the playable characters in the Avengers game, perhaps even the lead character.
I'm sorry, I switched off when you started talking about Captain Marvel.
No, Ms. Marvel, you fool.
I heard the word Marvel and I was like, you can talk about that Brie Larson bullshit again, aren't you?
Well, let me just fill you in on who Ms. Marvel is. I believe she's, I can't remember her nationality, but she's Islamic. I believe she's a lesbian as well. And she basically can grow parts of her body. That's her superpower. So she can like make a big hand and give him a slap with the big hand. Okay. And her comic book is dying a death. And they've kind of decided, instead of like going, what we need in the lead of an Avengers game is Captain America or Thor or Hulk, that basically you're Kamala Khan going around sort of like getting the Avengers back together.
I'm so not interested in this game.
Yeah, I was from like what I saw originally, like the bridge scene where all the Avengers and you're switching between them, they're playing differently, and it's got some okay looking combat, and I was like, oh, might be a Grimbo present there. And now I'm just like, I don't want to be Ms. Marvel. Fuck off.
For me, now I've actually got around to watching the Endgame film.
That happened a while ago.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that for me is kind of, it's satisfied the Avengers itch that I had for those 22 films they brought out. I've still yet to watch the second Spider-Man film.
It comes out on Amazon tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I think it's I'm getting it in the next couple of weeks on Blu-ray. But it's for me, it's kind of like a done thing now. It's like it's an era that's come to a close. I know they're still making the films, but for me, it felt very much like a line drawn underneath everything. So for games to be coming out and just doing, here's the Avengers. You like the Avengers? Do you want to play a game that's got Avengers in it? That boat's gone.
No, I view it more as the period at the end of a sentence, and we're about to start a new sentence.
Yeah, it feels like a sentence.
You do a jail thing. Nice.
A jail thing. Bless your cotton socks.
No, but I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Spider-Man Far. Apparently, it's quite good. So
Spider-Man Far Blank didn't hear going to be quite good.
Far From Home,
yeah,
is apparently quite good. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I am, we've got a Doctor Strange movie coming up, the second one of those.
I'll get on quite well with the Doctor Strange films.
Yeah, exactly. Doctor Strange is quite good, and I generally find Benedict Cumberbatch annoying, but not as Doctor Strange.
I find his American accent annoying.
A little bit, yeah. It's a bit too much twang on it.
Yeah, it's like the wrong twang in the wrong place, but I'm sure it's probably quite accurate. I don't know. It just doesn't sound right to me.
But yeah, so I don't know. I was looking forward to the Avengers game. Now because like I've got a lot of superhero games. It's like if a superhero game comes out, I pretty much just buy it.
As we said last year, or whenever we did the Spider-Man review on the PS4, they need to get the fucking pull their finger out and do an Iron Man game now.
Well, they did. I own 2 of them, and they're shit.
No, but do it in the way that Spider-Man was fantastic for all the right reasons. Just do that with Iron Man. That'd be great. Thank you very much.
And then you had the Iron Man game on, which wasn't too bad, but you can unlock all the suits for £70. Like, no.
Won't do that. But I mean, we've had some great games with the Hulk, the Ultimate Destruction on the PS2. That was great.
The Incredible Hulk movie was very similar to that as well. The game based on the movie. The Hulk game wasn't too bad either, which was I actually got on the PC, which is weird.
Oh, I'll tell you one other game they should try and do a reboot of, because I think it's probably time to amp it up and bring it back, is Prototype. That was a very good game, and Prototype 2.
Prototype 2 was better, in my opinion.
I enjoyed them.
The hunters became far less annoying in that you could actually kill them and feel like a badass rather than constantly dying to them when there was more than one of them.
Yeah, no, I have a good amount of time in Prototype and Prototype 2, and it was just a nice idea that you could absorb people, because at the time it was Prototype and Infamous, and I enjoyed both of those games.
Yeah, they came out like almost exactly the same time as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I was Infamous first, Prototype second, but when I played Prototype, I was like, it's not the same game. It's got a few different things going on, but it felt much more less story driven and more mechanics driven than Infamous. Whereas Infamous is kind of like, well, you got your powers and stuff all built together, but there was a long running story that was quite engaging. So yeah, no, I think Prototype needs a bit of a reboot, and I want another Infamous game, for fuck's sake. I'll get that in every podcast.
Well, you've had 3. Jesus Christ.
Well, 2.5.
4.
No.
Infamous 2, the painty spray can one, and the vampire. Oh, and Last Light. That's 5.
Yeah,
greedy
but
bastard.
Two of those were DLC. They were short packages. Done the right way back in the day. Actually, like, here's some more levels. Go for it. Have some fun.
I never finished Infamous 2.
Oh, Infamous 2 was great.
It just pissed me off. There was like quite early on. There's like this mission where you got to defend a post or something from all these guys attacking, and it just pissed me off. I hate defensive missions, so I stopped playing it.
That's like the first mission.
It's like the first mission after getting wankered by the beast or whatever it's called.
See, if you played through Infamous 2, you'd know what that's all about. So
it's probably coal again, isn't it? It's always coal.
It's just such a good, just the evil and dark side and the light side and good side. At the time, it was nice and groundbreaking and fulfilling. And
I like the first one where you had the this sludge woman that seemed like she wanted to fuck you.
Sludge Woman.
Yeah, you went down in the sewers after. I went down like the underground tunnel and into the sewers.
Oh, of course, there's always a sewer level in games of that era, wasn't there?
Yeah, this was a sexy sewer though, so it was all right.
Oh, I almost want to play that again somehow.
I mean, somehow you got a PS3. You just told me you had a PS3. Go play it.
But I don't play games on that old thing anymore.
I still play games on PS3. I was playing fucking hell. I was playing PS2 games still. Playing Rumble Roses the other day because big boobs. It's kind of like DOA but for wrestling games.
I love the fact that it cut out until you said big boobs, and that was it. Oh,
Rumble Roses. That's what I was talking about. It's
okay.
a wrestling game, but has big boobs, and you have what's it, an embarrassment move or something, which is you can win a match with it. It does massive damage, but it's basically you spanking them and stuff like that.
Wow. Pretty much an hour in, and we're still talking about boobs and spanking. So
That was my first mention of spanking. In fairness,
okay, I'll give you that. But I think we'll round off the podcast now. It's come to an end.
Yes, so, I require additional beers from downstairs. So
it's good timing. So, guys, if you have got this far, what is wrong with you? You're obviously soft in the head. But thank you for listening. Thank you for enjoying the podcast of our dulcet tones while we talk about nonsense. We have videos coming out every Wednesday and Saturday, so check back then for some awesome content. And don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps the channel.
Indeed, you do. And don't forget to check out that game that Snare's trying to get me to check out, the point and click one he just did a video on. Check it out because I might.
Disco Elysium.
That's the one. It looks like Shadowrun to me.
It's interesting, good writing, good first effort. Watch the video, give us a like and a thumbs up and everything.
And don't slap children.
No. Yeah, I actually hit him the first time. Didn't catch that on video. Anyway,
probably for the best.
Yeah. Here, look here, kids. I can slap a child. But anyway, that's all from us. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you again soon.
Take it easy, guys.
Okay, love you. Bye-bye.